Before we go to today's numbers and recount exactly where we are, I want to talk for a moment about what is at stake. And I think we know as this virus rises and is really this red tide going all the way across Ohio, that a lot of things are at stake. People's lives are at stake. We worry about our hospitals starting to fill up. We worry about long-term damage that people might have from the COVID who do in fact recover. But as I go through the statistics today and kind of bring you up to date about what we're seeing today, I want to ask you to think about something else that is clearly at stake, and that is whether our kids can be in school. That's really one of the things that certainly is at stake, and it really depends on what we're willing to do, our willingness to wear masks, our willingness to keep a distance, our willingness to avoid gatherings where there might be spread, or if we are at gatherings to wear a mask and to be careful, because we truly do control the spread in the community. And the spread in the community is what determines what is going on in our schools. Some schools, because of high community spread, have had to go remote because too many of their kids and teachers are out of school. In the last 2 weeks, at least 16 districts have made the decision to scale back to hybrid or fully remote models because of the spread in their communities. Other schools have had to change their plans for the year due to spread in their communities. Just this week, for example, school leaders in Toledo made the decision to keep their high schools closed through the end of the semester, meaning that in Toledo, for these students, they will have no in-person class for at least half of this year. Overall, we now have at least 50 districts that are fully online right now, with nearly 300,000 students unable to attend in-person classes. The important thing I think for us to remember is we can change this by more of us wearing masks, more of us avoiding being in situations where there can be spread, avoiding large gatherings of people, just really being careful. We can turn this down. We can turn this heat down. And we can get back to a simmer of this virus instead of a flame starting to really come up, because that flame is a direct threat to keeping our kids in schools. I believe that it should concern all Ohioans, and it concerns me, that so many of our kids are going to school remotely. While many kids can do well under these circumstances, many cannot. Some of our poorest children who thrive in an in-person learning environment do great for a number of reasons. Maybe don't do nearly as well remotely. And it's not just our poor children. It's many of our children throughout the state just do better in school. We can control this by what we do every single day. We owe it to our children. We owe it to their future. We owe it to our state's future to fight back against this virus, to not accept this as something that just has to be. It doesn't have to be this way. We can control this. We've done it twice before. We've knocked this thing down early on, and then 3 months ago, when it was starting to spike back up, we knocked it down again with very significant mask wearing in those parts of the state that we're seeing the most spread. Today, we're seeing spread virtually everywhere.